a Spanish mystic, once wrote a book to Christians where he coined the term the dark night of the soul. And we've been using that phrase ever since. When he talked about it, he said it's like we're in a pit. And it's dark and it's cold and it's lonely, but when we're in that spot sometimes, we are more reliant upon God to guide us. Because we can't see. And we need His hand to guide us up out of the dark. We can't get a foothold to climb, but it's there that we realize our powerlessness to move forward. We have to cling to the Savior to pull us up. One such person who spent 9 years in the pit, in that dark valley of the soul, was a guy named Nathan Sharansky. See, he was a Jew living in Russia, and he was a political dissident. He spoke out against the authorities in Russia. That sort of thing can get you in a lot of trouble. So the KGB captured him, they threw him in jail, and he's in this dark pit of a jail cell, kind of in a basement. He has nothing to him except for the Book of Psalms. Now, he's not a really religious man, but he's sitting there in the dark and he starts to read this Book of Psalms. Sometimes they would take it away from him, then gradually they give it back. It just kind of went back and forth. But as he had that Book of Psalms, when he had it, he found, to his surprise, that the words in that Book of Psalms applied to his own struggle. Because when he looked at God's people going through hard times and crying out to God in that book, they would suffer. They would cry out for deliverance. And they might wait for years to be delivered. But then God would pull them through. He would deliver them. And see, this gave Nathan hope. So, after 9 years, he's finally released from jail. And the Russian government makes a big political press thing out of it. They have all the press from all over the world come to see how gracious and merciful we are that we're finally releasing this political dissident. And so, a special car drives him up to an airstrip, and a plane is going to fly him off to freedom. So he's there on the runway. The plane is going to guide him to freedom. After he's been waiting for 9 long years. It's right there. And he turns to one of the authorities. They had taken his Bible. He says, where's my psalm book? One of the guys was a little bit rough with him and said, you have been given everything that was permitted. And right there on the tarmac, in the snow, with his plane to freedom right there, he just falls down to his knees. He refuses to go anywhere. He says, I want my psalm book. Doesn't work. At this point, he throws himself on the snow. If you can picture how a toddler throws a tantrum and their arms and legs going everywhere, that's what he does. In front of the world press. He kicks and he screams, he says, I want my psalm book! Finally, they talk to each other. They grumble about it a little bit, but they give him the psalm book back. He gets on that plane, and you see, Nathan had committed to himself and to God that he was going to read this one particular psalm as soon as he got his freedom. He intended to keep that promise. In Psalm 30, it says, I will exalt you, Lord, for you lifted me out of the depths and did not let my enemies gloat over me. Lord my God, I called to you for help and you healed me. You, Lord, brought me up from the realm of the dead. You spared me from going down to the pit. Sing the praises of the Lord, you, his faithful people. Praise his holy name. You see, Nathan knew what it meant to suffer. He knew what it meant to wait and wait. He knew what it meant to cry out to God for deliverance. And now Nathan knew what it meant to be delivered. Now I wonder if you can relate. When your health failed, and you waited for healing. And when it came, you rejoiced, but you had to wait a little bit for it. How about when the money was low? You said, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills.
that God sent provision at the absolute last minute. Maybe you asked God to reign over some relationship. And things were rocky. You know how it's going to get any better. But God brought healing. We like to read the Shepherd's Psalm, Psalm 23, in hospitals. We read it at funerals. We reflect on Psalm 22. Psalm 22 was the psalm that Jesus quoted when he was on the cross. When he cried out to God, "Why have you forsaken me?" Just as the Jews found comfort in those old songs, we find comfort and encouragement in these songs. Perhaps you found yourself singing along with some modern interpretations, some of the new songs of our own time. When you listen to his radio or Caleb or some other Christian radio. Lyrics that say things like, "What if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears?" Or, "Even when the fight seems lost, I'll praise you. Even when it makes no sense to sing, louder than, I'll sing your praise." In the Psalms, we find raw and uncensored, very open and very honest conversations with God about suffering and his role and his place within all of that. And when I say raw, there are a lot of passages in the Psalms where David is asking God for very bloody and violent revenge upon his enemies. There's times in the Psalms when David tells God, "Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I've done shameful stuff. I don't want you to look at me. I'm so ashamed of what I've done." There's times when David is suffering, and he seems to be crying out, "How long, Lord? Why do I have to suffer like this? What did I do? How long must I wait for deliverance?" And if we're honest, we probably all asked, screamed, pleaded with God those same questions. I think we've all been there. Some of us might look there now. But the hope in the Psalms is that the same God who has rescued you and has rescued us and has put your feet on dry land before will do it again. In his way, in his time, for his name's sake. And we spoke last week about the Psalms of Thanksgiving. Those Psalms in the Bible that are just devoted to telling God thank you. Thank you for all the times you've blessed me, rescued me, all the numerous things that you do for us. It was no accident we talked about it first, because today we're going to talk about the Psalms of Lament. And you'll find in these Psalms of Lament that a lot of times praise comes first. And that word lament, it basically means you have a complaint. When you take a lament to God, you have a complaint. Something's not right. There's a problem, and you're taking that problem to God. If we look at the most cited examples of the Psalms of Lament, we see the same pattern over and over again. You could take almost any of the Psalms of Lament, and you could put them in the same pattern. They all, for the most part, do the same thing in the same order. And one of the reasons we'll look at it this morning is this is a good pattern for you to follow in your prayer life. When you have a complaint, something's not right, when you're hurting, when you cry out to God. This pattern we see in the Bible is a good pattern for us to follow. And it goes a little bit like this. God, I thank you for your faithfulness. I can count all these examples of how you come through for me and so many people before me. But now, God, I'm suffering because of the situation I'm in, and I need your help. Help me. Let me appeal to your awesome character. I know you are merciful and loving, and you call me your child. Demonstrate your loving mercy in saving me so that other people might see and believe. Now, I want you to notice about 2/3 of that is all about God. And our needs are only a part of that, sandwiched in the middle. You see, life is not all about us. We exist to serve God, not the other way around. And yet, despite all of that, we serve a God who is worthy of being served, but who also stops and rescues us. And we're going to focus on a few specific Psalms this morning. There's, of course, more than I can mention in one sermon. And, of course, I recommend that you read the entire book of Psalms for yourself. And there's also references in your notes to these Psalms. But whatever you're going through, whatever you may be encountering, or maybe you have a friend who's going through something, I hope that you will save these notes. You also have them on the YouVersion app if you save your notes from there. I encourage you to share things. Preparing for this series, one of the things I saw come up that I thought was pretty neat is the Psalms say that we're supposed to have these on our lips and we're supposed to share them with others. We're supposed to encourage each other with Psalms. So way before social media said, like this, share it, hit the notification button. The Bible is saying you need to share these words with a friend. You need to share this with other people. In Psalm 44, and we're going to read excerpts from this psalm, not the entire one, so you can follow along with it. We have heard it with our ears ago. Our ancestors have told us what you did in their days, in days long ago. It was not by their sword that they won the land, nor did their arm bring them victory. It was your right hand, your arm, and the light of your face, for you loved them. You are my king and my God, who decrees victories for Jacob. Through you, through your name, we trample our foes. I put no trust in my bow. My sword does not bring me victory, but you give us victory over our enemies. You put our adversaries to shame. In God, we make our boast all day long, and we will praise your name forever. But now, you have rejected and humbled us. You no longer go out with our armies. You made us retreat before the enemy, and our adversaries have plundered us. You gave us up to be devoured like sheep and have scattered us among the nations. All this came upon us, though we had not forgotten you. We had not been false to your covenant. Yet for your sake we face death all day long. We are considered as sheep to be slaughtered. We are brought down to dust. Our bodies come to the ground. Rise up and help us. Rescue us because of your unfailing love. So let me summarize this in words that we might use ourselves. God, you are the good shepherd that we read about in Psalm 23. But now, your sheep are being eaten up. You've been so faithful in protecting us and guiding us. What happened? Why is this trouble facing us? We didn't do anything to deserve this. Now we're face down on the ground and we're getting walked on. We need your help. Now, have any of you ever felt like that? Like you felt like you were down on the ground and someone was standing on your neck? Like you were doing all the right things, but bad things still have to do. You might say to God, I didn't go looking for trouble, but the trouble found you, nonetheless. When I think of that image of being face down on the ground, I don't know why maybe my mind's twisted, but I thought of that old commercial that said, I've fallen and I can't get up. And if we had that logo, help me, I've fallen and I can't get up. When I pulled that up, that logo, it's been the subject of a million memes, it turns out. Didn't know that. But in a real way, if you look at the logo for Life Alert, it's got a yellow cross on it. It says Life Alert. And even though they're not probably trying to make that connection, it kind of hit me that there's actually some truth to that. That we are down. We can't get ourselves up. But only Jesus, through his work in the cross, is what can save us and what can get us back on our feet. Now let's look at Psalm 69. And again, this is excerpts from Psalm 69. It's in your notes. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in the miry depths where there is no foothold. I have come to the deep waters. The floods engulf me. I am worn out calling for help. My throat is parched. My eyes fail looking for my God. But I pray to you, Lord, in the time of your favor. In your great love, O God, answer me with your sure salvation. Rescue me from the mire. Do not let me sink. Deliver me from those who hate me, from the deep waters. Do not let the flood waters engulf me, or the depths swallow me up, or the pit close its mouth over me. Answer me, Lord, out of the goodness of your love and your great mercy, turn to me. Do not hide your face from your servant. Answer me quickly, for I am in trouble. I will praise God's name in song and glorify him with thanksgiving. This will please the Lord more than an ox, more than a bull with its horns and hooves. The poor will see and be glad. You who seek God, may your hearts live. The Lord hears the needy and does not despise his captive people. All right, let's paraphrase this one as well. God, I'm drowning. I'm sinking. There's nothing for me to hold on to, grab onto to stay afloat. But you're my life preserver. I need you to come out here and get me. I've been crying out for help so long, my throat is sore. I can barely get a praise out of my mouth. It hurts. But I'll do it. I'll praise my God who rescues me. I've been looking for help, unblinking out on the horizon. And I haven't seen a Coast Guard. I haven't seen any boat. I haven't seen anyone. But I know, even if I can't see him here yet, that the Lord is on his way. I can almost hear him rushing on the water. God, out of the abundance of your love, come and save me. There's no way I can repay you, but you'd rather have my praise and my heart than anything else I can give you. Let the people see your salvation and be glad. As we continue on through the book of Psalms, we have Psalm 80 that says that our bread and our water have been our tears, served up by the bowlful. I wonder how many of you have ever been there. You cried and cried, you don't feel like eating anything. Say, I'm all full of mourning. I'm all full of grief, this thing I'm going through. This psalm says, however, that if God would just shine his face on us, that he will restore us, that he will save us. And this psalm has an interesting line in here that we might overlook in verse 17, where it says, let your hand rest on the man at your right hand, the Son of Man you have raised up for yourself. That phrase, Son of Man, that's talking about Jesus. Here in the Old Testament, prophesying about what happened in the New. Jesus used this term in reference to himself. Now I can just see, looking at that psalm, that being a psalm that people were using to cry out to God. And before the New Testament, God the Father with Jesus at his right hand, putting his hand on Jesus' shoulder, pointing down there and saying, that's my shoulder, go get him. It's time. You've been waiting for this long. It's time to go and be born in that manger, to live a perfect life, to go give your life on the cross. Those are my children this time. And we know that at the end of time, God the Father will send Jesus again to come and to rescue those of us who are in Christ. See, from generation to generation, God's people in the Old Testament, they cried out for a Savior. They kept on crying out, saying, we need somebody who can save us. But between the Old Testament and the New Testament, there was a period of 400 years that there were no prophets speaking. There was no mouthpiece for God. Now, if you had talked to somebody in 400 days, you'd probably be concerned. But imagine 400 years. See, even before that time, there were times in between the prophets when they'd have a prophet, and then they didn't have a prophet for a little while before the next one. And even in those intervening times, they'd get a little nervous, say, where's the person who speaks for God? Who's the mouthpiece of God? We hadn't heard from God in a while. We're starting to get a little concerned, a little worried. The psalmist wrote about the need for the Son of Man to come. Job, in his book, said, I need an advocate. I need someone to be the advocate for me. I need someone to vindicate me. Prophets like Isaiah wrote about a suffering servant who would come, who would suffer for our sake. And Psalms like 22 prophesied in extensive detail what we know happened at the cross with Jesus. About a Savior who would come and die and set us free. To suffer for us so that we might not have to suffer in eternity without him. And for those of us who accept his sacrifice on the cross for our sins and ask Jesus to be in charge of our lives. Remember that bowl of tears we were talking about earlier? Well, in Psalm 56:8, it says that he collects every tear in his body. I just love the image of that, to think when you're in suffering and the tears are flowing and you feel like God doesn't hear you, to know that he's right underneath those tears, collecting them all in his body. And in Revelation 21:4, it says that he will wipe away our tears and take away our sorrow. I I just imagine as you're knelt down, crying, you don't know what to do, that Jesus is collecting those tears, and he's waiting for that moment when he can wipe them all away. And you take that bottle, set it up on the shelf, and say, we're done with those. There won't be any more tears here. That he will take away all of our sorrow. Now God doesn't promise that while we're here on earth, that we'll never have any pain, that we'll never have any sorrow. He doesn't promise to those that are saved by him that we'll have no pain, but he does say that he will save us daily, and he will save us at the end of time. In his own way, in his own time, for his name's sake. So lift up your voice to God, even in the midst of suffering. Praise him in the sun, and praise him in the storm. Thank him for his past faithfulness, his help, and ask him to rescue us again. Ask that his will be done, that he might restore us and use it as a testament of his grace and mercy. And then, as Psalm 107:2 says, let those who have been saved from the pit, let those who have been redeemed by the Lord say so. Let them tell their story. Many of us like to hear how God has rescued other people. We love a good story, a rags to riches, or somebody who's fallen on hard time and God put them up. We love to hear those stories. And yes, in one way we're happy for you, but also selfishly we might say, I'm happy to hear your story of redemption because I know if God did it for you, he might do it for me too. I'm happy to be reminded that God is in the business of saving people, that he redeems people, that he restores, he takes those broken pieces and he makes something out of it. And when I hear him do that for you, it's a reminder to me, there's hope for me too. And God can do the same for me. Now perhaps you don't have a story with God because you haven't accepted him as your Savior. I'd love to speak with you this morning about having a relationship with Jesus Christ. Maybe you've wandered and you're in pain, and maybe you feel like you did nothing to bring it upon yourself. You just need to cry out to God in the presence of others and have prayer. I'd love to talk with you about that. Perhaps you'd like to join this church and have the support of other people who have gone through that dark tunnel and come out the other side themselves. With God's help, we're a lot stronger together, banding together around Christ, and reminding each other and encouraging each other with song than we are by ourselves. We'd love to have you as well. However the Lord leads, please come forward as we sing this final song.